Today on the Morning Edition, the Alaska Legislature talks tax proposals. How much, when, and what types. Information that can and possibly will affect all Alaskans and tourists when they come to visit. We'll break it down for you and tell you what you need to know. Plus, have you heard of temperature blankets? Designs that take a year or more to make. We'll showcase a special blanket or two and share them with you. And later, just how young is too young to be called in for jury duty? I suppose we can ask this family. Their preschooler just got a jury duty summons, so they're probably fresh up on the rules. We'll check in with them as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Friday morning, everyone. We made it to the end of the week. A preschooler on jury duty. I don't know how well that'll go over.
And here I am, never have received one.
You've never been on a jury?
Never. Never even gotten the little note that's like, hey, stand by.
Watch this on Monday, you'll get that.
Oh, probably so. It's always going to be something like that. Well, we are waking up this morning. That freeze-thaw pattern still with us across South Central. We're still holding on to those temperatures, though, each afternoon warming well into the 30s, although we are going to begin to cool off here over the next couple of days. 29 is where we're currently sitting at Ted Stevens, so we are seeing those temperatures dipping below freezing, so you will begin to encounter some of those slick road conditions across South Central. While the airport is sitting at the 30s, we've got some lower 20s across Midtown and East Anchorage, Merrifield at 21, Campbell Creek at 20 degrees. And then as you head out towards Muldoon and Eagle River, those temperatures sitting in the mid-20s to start off your Friday morning. So overall, not a bad start to the morning. Things were a lot quieter across South Central as that activity that we've been dealing with is winding down. You can see the warmest conditions to start off the day is out towards Portage, where it's currently sitting at 38 degrees. Not looking possible that many areas will warm into the 40s today as we are beginning to tap into some of those cooler conditions, but it will be quiet. Can't rule out a stray shower or two out towards Prince William Sound, but what we're watching is out towards areas of the Panhandle. This low-pressure system that we're going to be watching will build north-west into Anchorage and South Central through the overnight hours. So we will begin to see some increasing coastal rain later this evening and into your Saturday. But as far as today, those temperatures once again set to make a run into the low to mid-30s. Will be a couple of degrees cooler than yesterday. We'll hold on to plenty of sunshine in the forecast. Now, one thing we will be watching with these clearer skies we'll see today through the night and into tomorrow. There is that potential that we could see some patchy fog across parts of South Central. So be prepared for that if you have any plans to get out the door tomorrow morning. But we are watching some snow in the forecast as we welcome in next week. I'll have more on that 7-day forecast for you, as well as those temperatures into the weekend coming up.
At the state capitol, Governor Dunleavy's tax proposals could affect every Alaskan and every tourist. The governor's sales tax proposal would add a 2% winter tax and 4% summer tax to most purchases across the state, including groceries, diapers, and gas. But it's a plan not everyone supports. Lawmakers are now struggling with what that means for families already facing high prices. The legislature took a deeper look at the proposed new tax law, hearing from lawmakers, local leaders, and members of the public who oppose a sales tax and fear the impact it might have on Alaskans. The proposal calls for a 2% winter, 4% summer tax on most purchases, including groceries, gas. Rural lawmakers say their constituents would be hit the hardest, paying the tax on goods that already cost 2 to 4 times more. Communities with existing local taxes could see combined rates hit as high as 13%. Acting Revenue Commissioner Janelle Earls defended the plan to the House Finance Committee Thursday, while representatives were skeptical.
The governor would like to not have a tax as well, but that's not the situation we're in. We have a fiscal crisis that needs to be resolved.
How is a statewide sales tax meant to be equal when rural Alaskans face much higher costs for the same basic necessities, especially after a disaster?
Later in the evening, the Senate Finance Committee heard from the public who generally were not in favor of the bill. Of 31 people who spoke, only 1 was in favor of a sales tax. The rest either opposed or felt it would put an undue burden on their communities, though many favored an increased corporate sales tax or statewide income tax.
The number one rule of any tax since before Fred Flintstone is that you always tax the other guy.
It's time to tax the rich. I'm also going to say you need to start looking into an income tax.
Ultimately, if the bill passes, it would take effect a year later and sunset in 2034. The next time the Finance Committee will take up the sales tax again will be next Thursday, February 12th. A moment of accountability in an Anchorage courtroom. A teenager admitted his role in a deadly drunk driving crash that cut short the life of another Service High School student. Stefan Shearer was just 17 when he got behind the wheel, and now he's facing the consequences of that one night. Cassandra Mansell tells us what happened in court.
18-year-old Stefan Shearer stood before a judge Thursday afternoon. His family and the victim's family in the gallery. The atmosphere in the room was heavy. Charged as an adult for crimes he committed when he was 17, he was asked to plea on 2 counts.
What is your plea?
Guilty.
Back on October 14th, 2024, the Rabbit Creek neighborhood became the scene of a tragedy. According to court documents, Shearer was driving drunk when his pickup truck rolled over. 3 teens were inside. One of them, a 17-year-old Service High student, was pinned under the truck and died at the scene.
If the court lifts the house arrest component, you position himself to earn what I think he's earned, which is the right to continue to prove himself and to demonstrate that he's committed to change. And he's really tried to do everything in his power to demonstrate that today.
Shearer was originally facing a manslaughter charge. That has been dismissed. He pleaded guilty to criminally negligent homicide and driving under the influence. His sentencing is scheduled for July 10th. Cassandra Mansell, Alaska's news source.
Fairbanks leaders are moving quickly to address a dangerous crossing near Fort Wainwright. The focus is Trainer Gate Road and F Street, where parents and the mayor have raised safety concerns for years. Now the city is pushing short-term fixes, including brighter lighting and speed tables to slow drivers and protect students walking to Tanana Middle and Ladd Elementary.
It's like a hump in the road, but it's designed for like a higher speed road where if you're going over 30 miles an hour, it will knock the coffee off the dashboard. But it's not made like a bump in a parking lot. It's something that's safe for motorcycles and vehicles in the wintertime, and it can be maintained with plows.
Any permanent upgrades still require approval from the Fairbanks City Council. New this morning, Alaska is very familiar with extreme temperatures. One woman in Port Ellsworth spent the entire year of 2025 turning weather into art, capturing every high and low temperature in yarn and color. Cassandra Mansell reports on how the magic of a hook and some yarn can truly paint a picture.
This crochet flower blanket tells a story.
I stumbled across something end of 2024. People were talking about the end of their temperature blankets. I'm like, what the heck is this?
The story of a remote village.
But it was so cool at the end of the year just to see all these beautiful blankets.
A snapshot of an entire year, all in one piece of art.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do that.
Selena Ellsworth shares her everyday life online, living in Port Ellsworth, Alaska. Last year, she became inspired to crochet her own temperature blanket for the entire year of 2025.
It's just people following the temperatures, whether that's like the average or the highs or the lows of that year or like previous years that like mean something to them, and making a blanket out of it.
The creator can decide what colors are assigned to different temperature ranges and choose its pattern.
We start with 2 rows every single month. One is a high row and one is the lows. And there's just a flower for every one. Each color is a 10-degree range. So for example, this like peach color is the 30s. So it can be between 30 and 39 degrees. The mustard is the 20s. and so on.
Selena's blanket reveals something surprising about Alaska's weather patterns.
It was a very odd, warm winter and year for us.
She says she grew up often experiencing temperatures as low as 40 below, but 2025 told a different story.
The coldest it got, I had to go back and look on my records, negative 14 degrees last January, whereas this January, we went all the way to negative 40.
And the warmer colors dominate the fabric.
40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. These purple ones are the 70s, and we only hit those like less than a handful of times.
She's already started working on 2026.
And it's actually a pattern that I bought off of Etsy. It's definitely going to be a lot bigger than my 2025 blanket, that's for sure.
A year in color and yarn. The story of her home. Cassandra Mansell, Alaska's news source.
Our associate producer, Cassandra Mansell, who reported on that story, also wanted to share her own crocheted temperature blanket that she made over a year ago. The blanket shows the high temperatures in Anchorage for the first year of her life, from the day she was born to her first birthday. Very cool. Just ahead, if you've been up to Hilltop recently, you may have noticed a new sign lighting up the mountainside. Some students are actually responsible for putting it up and making it. We'll show you the story when the Morning Edition returns.
And we've got some quiet weather today across South Central, but we are watching some snow increasing through the weekend and next week. We'll have more on that, but first at sunrise, coming in at 9:06 in Anchorage, 7:50 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next.
Welcome back in. 15 minutes past the hour on this Friday morning. We made it to the end of the week, and it's been a kind of a wild ride throughout the week, Aaron. We had some warm temperatures, some slick streets. So what are we looking at today?
Well, we've got some quiet conditions to close out the week, but we have been dealing with some warmth and record-breaking warmth at that as well. As we went into the early parts of this week, we saw those temperatures climbing into the 40s. Tuesday, we did hit a high of 44 degrees. And then, of course, Wednesday, we saw those temperatures sitting right around the low to mid 40s as well. But you can see the downward trend. That's where we're heading in terms of our temperatures here over the next couple of days. Still expected to be above average, but we are going to see temperatures shave off a couple of degrees each afternoon. 11 in McGrath, 19 in Kotzebue. We're still holding on to that colder weather as you head north of the Brooks Range. We're also still holding on to some areas of blowing snow as you head across the northwest Arctic borough. But meanwhile, through the Aleutians, the Gulf Coast region, we've got temperatures sitting in the 30s and even a few isolated areas managing to climb into the 40s. It is going to be fairly quiet today outside of some coastal activity where we could see a stray shower or two, maybe seeing some morning clouds, but overall we're going to call it mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies through the day. And then as we head through the night, we could see some fog development across parts of South Central with this wet weather pattern that we've been dealing with and this freeze-thaw pattern that we're up under as well. But those temperatures will steadily drop here over the next couple of days. But it is quiet across South Central. We are watching this area of active weather out towards the Panhandle, as that will eventually build back in across South Central through the overnight hours on into our weekend. And this will begin to kickstart some snow in the forecast. So fairly quiet today outside of some spotty to isolated showers as you head through Prince William Sound. Even Kodiak will be on the dry side. And then as we head into the evening hours out towards eastern parts of Kodiak Island, you'll begin to see some of those rain showers approaching, and then we'll see a steady increase in some of that coastal activity across Prince William Sound and coastal regions of South Central. And again, it's really just going to be isolated to scattered. You can see by 2 p.m. tomorrow, still fairly dry for inland areas of South Central. But then as we head into Saturday evening on into your Sunday, that snow begins to build back in across South Central. Now, current consensus is showing that heavier snowfall totals will shift east of Anchorage, but we'll still see that potential for a couple of inches of snow accumulation from Sunday on into Monday. Even beyond Monday, we'll see more snow in the forecast. But you can see through the rest of today, may see some light accumulation through the Copper River Basin. We're dry for the most part for the rest of your Friday and Saturday. And then there's that snow building in as we welcome in your Saturday and Sunday. And then notice as you head through Prince William Sound, the Chugach Range, out towards the Copper River Basin and, of course, through eastern parts of the Kenai out towards Turnigan Pass. This is where we could see a couple to several inches of snow accumulation. Anchorage also seeing that potential that we could see several rounds of some snowfall. Current model comparisons showing that many model runs beginning to approach that 2 to 4 inch mark as we approach Monday morning. So we'll be watching for that. And then again, more snow is expected through the rest of the week as that active weather makes a return to South Central. So enjoy the quieter conditions we'll see today. Those temperatures stay near freezing. Then we kind of cool off the next couple of days into early next week as we drop into the upper 20s with some snow in the forecast.
All right, thanks, Aaron. A new sign is lighting up Hilltop Ski Area. It's entirely student-made. East High School created a custom piece of art to put on display. Danny Tompkins shows us why this project is about more than just metalwork.
In the East High School metal shop, innovation meets metal.
It's fun to kind of see your idea that's in your head come to life on the computer, and then it's even more exciting to see what's on the computer become a physical thing you can hold.
Students are busy at work transforming this simple substance.
Look, you can see its movements really. Now we can actually hear ourselves think.
Nice. Wow.
So now you can see all the pieces, pretty precise.
You might not guess what this piece of aluminum can become. But in the hands of East High School students, it can become this, a custom LED sign lighting up Hilltop Ski Area.
And we thought, what a better way to do it than to bring in some kids at East High and Adam Wood's sheet metal class. Working with these kids has been absolutely amazing. And you wanted to look at some good work, look at this sign because they top quality signage.
The project required precision. Students used a plasma cutter to cut the aluminum. I got metal.
Yeah.
I'll get another one. That's a strong magnet. Then ground and finished each piece by hand.
A lot of our students are up there on the slopes and they're skiing, and then they can say, hey, look at that sign that I made. And I think that's just really special, and to connect what we're doing in here with the bigger community.
And it's not over. Students are already working on a second batch of signs. But for Hilltop and East High, the partnership is about more than signage.
I love it. I love being able to make anything I can dream up, and then it's like practical.
Really investing in the future of Alaska.
Yeah, that's the goal, right, is to make the state as strong as we can. So it all starts here.
For these East High students, their work will continue to shine on the slopes for years to come. Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.